It's a really pretty day out today. It's in the 50s. Carolyn's doing laundry. She did the bed sheets, so that's how pretty it is. Bed sheets are a little bit more strenuous work, so that tells you how nice it is. This morning I got up and started the wood stove. It was 37 outside, but it was a little chilly in the house, so I started the wood stove, and that was a mistake because now it's just hot in there. That's the problem, is not with the wood stove, is trying to figure out if you really want to start it or not. It would have been better if I would have just turned on the buddy heater for 15-20 minutes. It would have been propane, but it wouldn't have been so hot in there. I mean, we could open the windows, but the thing with opening windows, it's like wasting fuel. If you have your heater on in the house and you open a window, you're wasting gas. Well, the same thing with wood. You open the windows, you're wasting fuel, wood. So, I don't know. It'll cool off, but the thing is the temperature stay nice and warm in there till 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. I'm gonna feed the chickens. It's hard to do with holding the camera and opening the doors. This morning I made a video for my other channel, and I'll put a link to that channel. It'll be in the up next box on the screen at the end of this video. I learned something about my camera this morning. All right, Two-Face, you got to stay inside. She's coming outside. She used to let me pet her, but not anymore. So we're gonna bring some mesh and sunflower seeds in so they can have something to eat. Whoops, I scared them. I think the camera scared them. They're all excited. So like I was saying, I was recording and I learned something about my camera today. I was recording the video just like I always do, and my camera just shut off 5 minutes into it. Couldn't figure out why. Whew, that smells. That's fermented corn, or it's fancy scratch is what it's called. And Carolyn puts water in it, lets it ferments for 3 days. They just love that stuff. So as I'm recording, it shuts off, and then so I try again. And it shuts off again, and it just, so I ended up going back into the house, see what's wrong with my camera, and I learned something. The camera has audio commands. I can say things and it'll turn on, and I gotta be careful what I say. But what I said was, and I'm gonna say it real slow so my camera doesn't shut off, but what I said was, stop reporting. And what it thought I said was, stop recording. Now, if you say those words really quickly, the camera shuts off. I didn't know that. It took me like an hour to figure out why my camera kept shutting off. So, something new, which could make using the camera a little bit easier. I've been complaining how I always mess up the buttons, because there's two buttons. One does recording, the other button turns it on and off. And so this could make my recording videos maybe a little easier if I could just give a voice command and the camera turns on or shuts off. I gotta learn all the commands. It does several different things, so we'll see how that works. But it was aggravating trying to figure that out. I'm really proud of our setup here. You'll see here that I got double fencing. I got the chicken wire, and then I got sturdier field wire. I forget what it's called. And I did that because the chickens could get through the field wire. So I put the chicken wire up and then the field wire. Over there, I had to put a third layer on it of hardware cloth so raccoons and possums couldn't grab the little baby chickens and rip their skin off or rip their feathers off. But today was another example of this thing doing a really good job. We got some new neighbors, and I don't know if they're going to live here permanently or if they're just here part-time or what the deal is. I'm not sure I understand the situation, and I'll never ask because I really don't care what their situation is. I'm quite content. And they're a young couple with a kid, and they got a pit bull. Now, I know a lot of people like their pit bulls, and I'm not criticizing it one way or another, but I'm not a big fan of them. And again, I don't want to lose subscribers. If you like pit bulls, that's fine. I hear the chickens. I'm in the house working on my other channel's video, and I hear the chickens making a racket. And I look out and I don't see anything. Nothing. And I take a thorough look. Well, Carolyn goes outside later. I think they hang the sheets. And she says, Rob, well, I knew there was something wrong. So I come outside with my pellet gun, and I got only a little pumped up just to sting them a little bit. I try not to hurt the animals. And I come down here, and he's right here. Well, I didn't know it was the neighbor's dog. I didn't know whose dog it was. And of course, I popped him. He's not bleeding. I don't even think he felt it, really. He didn't hardly budge. He coiled a little bit, but not much. But I do know pit bulls are very strong animals. And I actually think they don't feel pain. I don't know, I'm just hypothesizing, as much as other animals. So I might have got him and he didn't even flinch. But again, he wasn't bleeding. You can see there's no blood anywhere. But you see, this is where he was trying to get in at. He was desperate. He's growling at the chickens. You can see all his dog tracks right here. He's growling and trying to jump up on the roof of the chicken run here. He kind of just strolls off. No big deal. He goes over to the neighbor's house. Now the woman is outside, but she's not reacting to anything that's going on over here. Carolyn's yelling at the dog, get out of here, get out of here. And of course you hear the little pop from the pellet gun. You would have thought if it was her dog, she would have reacted a little bit more, but she didn't. I go inside, trying to understand if my pellet gun is, the sights are misaligned. It's got a little scope on it to see if I missed him, because I mean, like I said, he didn't react hardly at all. And so I hit a little tin can and the scopes were right on. So I didn't miss him. He just didn't react to the little sting. Again, I only got it pumped up a couple times. Probably didn't even break the skin. But I've shot a lab with it, and he didn't squeal, but he definitely reacted that something got him, and he ran off. But this one just kind of trotted off like it was no big deal. Well, I go, like I said, I go inside, and then Carolyn comes back in a little later. She says, I told that lady that her dog was harassing our chickens. I said, oh, it's her dog. She said, yeah, she was trying to take the dog inside. Our neighbor has a silver or gray pit bull. Kind of pretty looking, but he sure did terrify me when I shot that pellet gun, and he didn't react, and he just stared at me. I thought, man, is he gonna come after me? I never have understood this. I've never understood the mentality that it's okay to let your dogs run. As you know, we were nomads and we didn't have dogs. And it was one of the big criticisms that we got was we didn't have a dog, we should have a dog. And anytime I brought up dogs, and it's still yet today, and that I don't want dogs, I'm very happy not having a dog. I've had dogs in the past, I love them. I actually bred golden retrievers. I love dogs. But I just don't feel like I want to take on that responsibility at this point in my life. I got the chickens. I'm quite happy with the chickens. They make for nice pets. But we live in a tiny house, and we'd always be tripping over the dog. And I think it'd just be kind of abusive if we had a big dog. And a little dog, they're fine. But I've had little dogs too. We had little toy poodles, and I could never get those dogs trained, potty trained. Just never could. And being in a tiny house, I don't want it peeing all over the place. So that's my reasoning. It's not that I hate dogs. It's not that I hate that you have dogs. It's just I don't want dogs. As a nomad, one of the things that was frustrating is all the national forests, national parks require you keep your dog on a leash. Yet I don't know of anybody that kept their dog on a leash. As a matter of fact, one of the big YouTubers, one of the big nomad YouTubers, and I used to criticize him all the time. When I was a nomad, he'd let his dog run around. As long as there's nobody else around, it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. My dog's a good dog. I just don't agree with that at all. I don't care if your dog's a good dog. I don't care if it doesn't even come close to leaving your side. Put it on a leash. That's the rule. Put it on a leash. Well, you come out here in the country and people let their dogs roam around. And then they come over and harass your chickens. Well, here's the thing I have a problem with. Because this is just so frustrating. Let's say they kill one of my chickens, or try to kill one of my chickens, and I shoot the dog. They find out I shoot the dog. Well, it's not that they're going to feel bad that their dog killed your chickens. They're going to be mad because you shot their dog. It just seems like a skewed concept. that it was bad for you to shoot their dog, even though their dog was on private property killing your animals. As a chicken owner or what livestock owner, you got to make the hard choice. First of all, it's not the dog's fault. And so I don't want to go around killing things that I don't need to kill. I don't need to eat the dog, so it's just a waste. It's just, the dog just does what it does. And it's irresponsible for the dog owner not to take care of the dog and keep it chained up. Now you're putting the onus on me to make a terrible decision. Do I sacrifice my chickens or do I sacrifice the dog? I got to make that choice. That person who owns the dog made me make that choice, and it's an unfair thing to make someone decide. Then you decide, okay, well, it's the dog. The dog's owners are at fault. I have to take action to save my chickens because my chickens feed me. So it's more about my personal health over their love for the dog. And then they come over and they'll start flattening your tires or harassing you or telling all the neighbors how terrible you are. Scaring my chickens, even if the dog didn't get in, scaring my chickens was not necessary. They were scared. They'll be stressed for a day or two. We won't get as many eggs out of them. Egg production will cut down because as soon as they get stressed, they stop producing until they calm down. And that's just natural instinct because they don't want a stray animal to eat their eggs. They don't want to waste the energy making eggs that are just going to get eaten. So no, you don't want the stress. So if you'll check out my other channel, I really appreciate it. There's a little box right here. You can click somewhere around my face. Take you over to the other channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. So I hope I can inspire you to take care of your chickens when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.